Welcome to this video all about the new moon coming up at the end of the month. And it is going to be happening on July 28th, 2022. Seeing if I can get this. This new moon is occurring at 5 degrees and 38 minutes of Leo. And so it would be good to look at your chart, possibly to see where that minute and that degree, you can flip the two around. Because if you're looking at a natal chart, you have the degree, and then you have the minute right next to it. So you want to look for that in your natal chart. So the fixed signs are Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, Aquarius. What planet falls in that sign and in what house, what area of your life, be it finance or underground work that would be like 8th house, also inheritance, as well as associated with that. And also, so that would be really, really important, and a good indicator and a good little addition to sort of turn up the volume on how powerful this new moon will be for you. So it sort of gets more personal. It's like you can turn on a button and stare in at how is this going on for me individually, for me in my life. So new moons mark a new beginning. Not necessarily one where you have the whole party of neighbors and the whole street and crowds and everyone standing outside shouting and crying with laughter and, going crazy and throwing pom-poms and having a parade and having all kinds of, flashes of light going here and there and everywhere. That's not what a new moon is necessarily. New moons are more quiet. They're more reflective. And you can really, really start a new thing. Use something precious like an ingredient or a tool to then create something new. But it takes the intention, it takes the dream, it takes the little bolt of lightning that says, oh, I'm going to do this thing. And so with the with the Mars-Uranus North Node conjunction coming up on July 31st, it could really, really be that shocking truth, that sudden awakening, that sudden realization that I am doing something, and you know what? I am looking myself in the mirror, and this doesn't really serve me, so I need to find another way to do it. I was unsubscribing from a bunch of my channels. If you see all my subscriptions then versus now, so before July 21st, 2022, I would say, and take a look, because I have really eliminated a lot of subscriptions. And, for those who haven't seen my subscriptions, there is quite a few of them. For those who have, then you'll see the difference. For those who haven't, it's a smaller number than what I had. And I'm more aware and more attuned to and more, like I know what I've subscribed to. I see it. And some of them I haven't even watched videos for. Some, I didn't even know until I went through and just sampled videos from the channels individually to just see, like, do I want to keep this as a subscription? Would I want to watch this? Would I be interested in this? And when I was doing that, I was going through the motions, and it was very, very exhausting, and I was sort of kind of torturing myself in the process of having that big, sort of electrical, technological YouTube clean out. And, doing that, it was a lot of work. And there was a more easy and efficient way of, cleaning all that stuff out. And I realized that later through trial and error. And you don't know until you know. You live and you learn, and work smarter, not harder. So, you have an idea of going along this particular path, and stuff doesn't work out. So I think that because of if I'm feeling exhausted or in pain or not fulfilled and not satisfied by what I'm doing, if it's not making me feel better, then maybe the way that I'm doing it, maybe the way I'm approaching it, well, it's just not the way. It's not the right way. So I decided, I'm just going to get rid of the subscriptions that I have not seen any videos from and the ones that I know that I will like. The positive going through all those channels is, I have a wider selection of things I do like and would want to watch. So, that happened. And I sort of learned to kind of be okay with letting all those things go. And the North Node is in Taurus, which is really about the present moment and enjoying and having gratitude for all of the possessions are in your world. But, balancing that out with the opposite sign, which is Scorpio, is letting go. And when the North Node is in Scorpio, talk about a wonderful time to clean out your closets and your bookshelves and your kitchen and your living room and your garage, shedding things that you don't need, and having healthy detachment. Because you can always refine those channels. You can always go back and then find new channels, new videos that you like just as well, or maybe even better than the ones that you got rid of at the time when you were like, oh no, I don't need that. Oh no, I'm not going to watch that. No, that's not for me. Because we change. We go through different phases and different fascinations with things. So, that's that. But enough of that little narrative in my life, anecdote, those two. But anyway, quieter. It is wonderful for really trusting the inner knowing that you really see the path ahead as golden and shining, and you know that this is what's going to serve me. And so it's a wonderful time to meditate, to really calm the mind, to move through life very slowly and gracefully and balanced in a very emotional way, or rephrase that in an emotionally balanced way. Because we can get very high strung, we can get very worked up about stuff internally or externally. We can just get over excitement getting in us, and we don't look around, and we end up spilling very, very precious ingredients that we need to make this recipe, and then we have to clean it up and then realize, I was being impulsive and I didn't look where I was going, and I wasn't sort of having that healthy emotional containment or container. So that's wonderful to think about. So with the new moon, and important to think about as well. So July 28th, the new moon. So it's a wonderful opportunity to wear red during this time. To go to a store, go to, Target or, some other type of store, maybe thrift store or something, and sort of spend some money, to take the opportunity and spend money, of course, wisely on objects, um, big purchase items or small purchase items that look attractive, that look really inviting, that really turn you on, that you're like, oh, I want this particular thing. This looks good. And it's, good for doing it at this time because two of the personal planets, both Mercury and Venus, are moving direct. When Venus is retrograde, it's not the best time to spend impulsively on, especially beauty products, beauty items, hair, makeup, a dress or a, tuxedo tie, whatever maybe shoes. There's so many different things. But Leo is a very bright and a very hot sign. It doesn't just want to play it cool. It wants to, it wants to just light everything up because the sun is one of the symbols for Leo. It's the ruling planet or luminary, but it's also a symbol for Leo. And think of the warmth with the sun. Think of, you could be not too near the sun, but then the sun would catch on the ground and you would feel the warmth and you would see the light of the sun. And, that's how big it is. It wants to make itself known. It stands in its power and it's not dimming down its light. Here I am, and I'm going to shine. And that is, I'm sure there's a lot of really positive and empowering affirmations for Leo that you can find out there when it comes to standing in your power, being in your power, and not being shy about it. And getting past the insecurities, to get past the, what are they going to think of me? Or they're going to like me, or they're not going to like me. That kind of sensitivity to others' validations. And that's where Aquarius can come into the picture and say, hey, march to the beat of your own drum. Don't be afraid. Care, but at the same time, don't care when it comes to putting all of your eggs in one basket when it comes to, it's all about what the audience thinks rather than what I think and what I want. So that's sort of one of the downsides of Leo. Can go sort of left and not right. Growing, rising, being big and bold. Just for me to get up and stand tall. I'm not going to do it, but maybe, like right now as I'm sitting and making this video, I'm sitting tall, with my, just sort of broad shoulders. Anything that you can really harness the power of yourself. So, those are all little areas. Anything having to do with being glamorous, playing with life, dressing up, and, like, for example, males pretending to be females or drag queens, or females pretending to be males. Like, and I was watching Yentl, the movie with Barbara Streisand in it, so that can sort of play into the picture as well. Barbara Streisand's a famous singer. And so you'll find her channel, hopefully, in the channel list of my artist channels for, the singers, music, under that particular list on my channel. I'll put her channel below for you to see in the description. So, creativity as well, painting, music, whatever it is, allow yourself to experiment. Maybe it's planting. Maybe it is starting a charity where you have all these objects and you're giving them away to people in need, or just people that want things or could do with things, because Leo is a sign that is very linked to generosity. And, to have a garage sale, it's summertime, people can come over and go to the garage and look around and then see stuff and then take it. Take, whatever captures their eye, their attention. So, that's another area that I would say as well with the new moon. To be very mindful of not going in excess, but to where you're playing it small and you feel like, oh, I want to play it bigger and I want to take this opportunity. And so taking opportunities. This is a very wonderful time for opportunities because Jupiter in Aries is also playing in with this new moon. And I'll get to that later. To feel, to be in the moment and to feel whatever inspiration is coming through you. Oh, I feel inspired to write a poem. I feel inspired to write a love song for somebody. To, to start a new YouTube channel. To make a video, to shine, to be uninhibited. Like, I don't care what I say, if it's going to be sort of, off the walls or, out of bounds, whatever it may be, to really free yourself and to, again, have fun and enjoy life as well. So to take chances and make mistakes. Know until you try. And some recipes that you make will be better than other recipes. I was watching a movie, it was called The Guardian Brothers. It's on Netflix, where the mom and her daughter were changing the generation-old Chinese soup that the daughter's grandmother has made along with her descendants. And so they decided, we're going to be a pioneer and change the recipe. And it turned out to really serve them. People kept coming back to the restaurant and they kept getting that sort of attention and those kind of rave reviews. So, to reinvent something, the concept of retro rad, old and new, taking something old and making something new again. Those types of things. Taking somebody doing a video of how to, make, how to paint a picture of the sea, then you're making a video, but you're doing something different. You're not exactly copying what they're doing step by step, thing by thing. You're sort of embellishing it into your own mind and your own ideas. Because, during these 30 days, the spotlight's on you. It is on you. So, time to shine. So, getting into the nitty gritty, getting into the specifics, because it's not enough for me to make this video about the new moon in Leo and just talk about the sun and the moon in Leo, because I can do that in a year and I don't want to be repeating the same things. You have to get, I believe that it has to be current. What is going on astrologically? What are the aspects happening? So I sort of section these videos. This is the new moon, sun and moon in Leo. This is what it means. And then here are the aspects of what is going on. This is, this is like the, meat and potatoes. Like the new moon in Leo may be your beverage that you're drinking, sort of the basic flavors and overall thing, because drinks are finite. They're more finite than food. I think there's much more variety in food than drinks, like Coke or tea or water or Sprite or something along those lines. But the meat and potatoes, the meal that you're receiving, well, that could be the aspects going on at this time, and how each aspect is unique, and how from one year to the next, it's not going to be the same. The date's not going to be the same. The degree of the sun and moon, they're not going to line up at the exact same degree. And the conversations or aspects of the planets, or luminary to this planet, or a dwarf planet, or asteroid, or fixed star to this luminary or this planet, those things are going to be different. So, with the sun trining Jupiter, this is something huge. This could really give way to a lot of opportunity for expansion. Because, again, going out and walking down the street, and, like a lot of those music videos where they film in LA, Los Angeles, and LA and Los Angeles, that's a place that really screams Leo season, because it does have to do with being famous, and Broadway as well. And so there's a lot of abundance that could come with this new moon as well. New desires, where, if you act and you go big with, stuff that comes about in life, then this will really serve you. Lighting your fire, standing strong in your power again. And this is very invigorating. This is very harmonious. So the sun is in Leo, and because the sun's in Leo, I think that I need light in this room. So let's just light stuff up. Let's just, because, this is the deal. Because the spirit of... Oh, and my computer just went out. Darn. Am I still going?